This week on Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes, the nerds play Desert Island during the NWGLS Mailbag. They give you all their NerdOns for the week, take out their frustration with MoviePass, discuss the Star Wars Episode 9, Twilight Zone, and Alita Battle Angel. And guess what? There's even more, so give it a listen, and don't forget to share the podcast with your friends.
All right, guys, I need you to do me a favor.
What?
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now tell me, what do you see?
Wait, is everyone that's listening supposed to close their eyes?
Or are we
No,
closing
just
our eyes?
the people in this room.
Just us.
Close your
So
eyes.
listeners
Shit.
don't
All right, hold on. What do you see?
See nothing.
bird pants.
Fuck you. No!
Bare pants. All right.
I
Well,
see an anvil
this is not
beside
going
a
the way
hole.
that I was expecting it to go at all. So, anyway, guys,
How was it supposed to go?
Well, you'll never know because Ray's all.
All right, we're gonna close our eyes.
Listen,
You tell us what you want us to see.
I've been having to come to terms.
Yeah.
I've been having to let go of hope.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this hope for at least 2 years. Okay, every day I get up and it was like Christmas morning. I'd be waiting. I would check my phone, but the answer wouldn't be there, and it just kind of hit me finally today that it's just not going to happen. We're never going to play Kingdom Death.
Oh, yeah. It's staring right at you.
It's never going to happen, guys. It's 2 years later.
I've made a pact with myself, and I've talked to Allison about this, so she knows. And I'll tell you guys now, I have all these comics.
She's the only one he's scared of.
Yeah. So I have all these comics that I'm trying to get ready for our comic convention that we're going to go to in
August 12th.
August 12th.
Yep.
When I get those done, which will be by August 12th, that's when I'm going to start putting that together.
But wait. All right.
I know
You've
I've already had
this
several dates.
way before all these comics.
No, I know, but that has
But
a
this
deadline.
is money. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is money.
I mean, technically, that's a giant box of money.
That's true. That's true. And all the boxes that Chuck's destroying behind.
Welcome to Nerds to Get Laid. Sometimes. Here we are. I just had to get that off my chest because every
It's an entertainment
Sunday
investment. I just want to
we
say that.
walk in, I just see this beautiful box, and I say, look at the fucking
Isn't
dust
it
growing
gorgeous?
on it.
Yeah,
Look
I know.
at the fucking dust growing on it. Why'd you say it twice? It's got a big box.
I was thinking it was a Hot Toys box earlier than I saw.
No, I
it's
know
not.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's disappointment. It's
It
just
is.
it's a big
Kingdom
black box of disappointment.
Death.
And mocks Nathan every time
It
he's
does.
sitting there across the room from it.
Yeah.
I just so excited.
You'll never play me, Nathan.
Look how cool I look and all the art and all the shit right talking.
Man, more like Chumpman.
Well, I hope you guys are doing good this week. Thanks
I'm
for
not.
tuning in yet again to Nerds to Get Laid Sometimes. Make sure if you enjoy the podcast to share the goddamn podcast.
And subscribe.
Don't
Subscribe.
be greedy. Share
Like
it with
us,
other people.
like us on what's your favorite social media? Nathan, what's yours recently?
I like all of them.
All of them.
Spotify
Guess what?
being
We're
my
all-
favorite.
Well, that's not social media, but we are
You
on
can share some.
we are on the Instagrams. We are on the YouTubes now. We've been
Yeah.
putting stuff up on YouTube.
Yes.
We are up on the Facebooks. We're not on MySpace yet. I don't know why. And we are
We're
on
not
the
a-
Twitter.
we're
So
not a
follow us
band
on
yet.
those.
If we become a
We've
band,
become a band.
yeah, a band of assholes. But yeah, if you do like it, we don't really try and whore ourselves out that bad. We're trying to get better about whoring ourselves
Yeah,
out.
funny enough,
We're
bad
on our
at whoring.
knees
Yeah.
begging
Yeah.
you to share us.
But it does help if you
Jesus
share it.
Christ.
If you got a friend you like that you share it, maybe they like it, maybe they'll share it. So
Be
That's the end
bros
of
and
it.
share it together.
yeah, take your Facebook and post it on Instagram. Tag us. It really means a lot, and we
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
it. So
I mean, unless you're really ashamed of us, and then just like
and then you're chucked.
send it through instant messenger to some
Yeah.
close personal friends.
Or through the U.S. mail, maybe some flyers.
It now,
Download us, burn us to a cassette tape. Send us to your mom.
HTTPS.
if someone
//
Do you have an 8-track recorder?
print out our web address and mail it off to your
Maybe
grandma.
if you have a mimeograph machine.
Then you're like, Chuck, really? You dropped that, Nathan?
I did. Like that was about 10 minutes ago.
So true.
No, I'm sitting there.
his
I didn't want to
jaw's been
interrupt
dropped the
anybody.
whole
I'm like,
time.
That
really?
mouse just found the motherfucking cheese and he's pissed.
Oh man,
I just been goading Chuck all evening. He's like a mini volcano.
he's ready to go.
Yeah,
And he doesn't have any beer to calm him down.
I know.
Luckily, his trucker hat has mesh in it, so when he does blow, the lava has little slits to go out.
Do you think they make like mood ring
Schlitz.
hats that you can get for that like will change different colors?
Texas Roadhouse.
Chuck just gets more sunburnt, like he's been out on the river all day and he's drunk.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's mad.
Chuck's wearing a hat.
No,
I just thought that was his hair shape.
his head is naturally helmety.
It's not a
I
camo
just thought it
hat
was,
either.
I just thought it was a
It's not the
skull.
pink one either.
No, it's not.
They've been
on
changing
my
it
truck,
up
though.
on us. But anyway, from that, let's jump on over to our NerdOns and talk about what we've been doing this week.
Nerd on.
Get your nerd on. Get your nerd on. Get your nerd on. Get your nerd on. Get your nerd on. Get your nerd on. Get your nerd on.
All right, welcome back to the Nerd On, where we kind of just go over what we've been doing this week, and
Sometimes.
where we show you that we live the life.
Were you
I was,
just asking to put Evan Williams in Gatorade?
I did that during Access and Allies night when I finally
Jesus.
That
showed
sounds
up.
like a redneck margarita, Chuck.
God.
Guys, let's change it up. And let's start with TJ. What was your Nerd On this week?
Oh, man.
I know, guys, trying to get
Age before beauty.
the ratings going. People at
So,
home just
Ray will
fucking
go
shit
first.
themselves.
So they can.
Holy shit! TJ's going for. I'm not sharing this bullshit.
Cats and dogs!
So this week, Katie and I have been watching New Girl, trying to go through that series.
Does she know about it yet? I took
Um,
Mike's joke from last week.
Arrested
Bullard.
Development season 5. Finally finished that up.
Yeah,
I kind of paused on it. Ray's watched it as well,
yeah. I just finished it as well.
and
You finally got your paws on it. Like your hands, because you're a kitty cat.
You're like, ooh,
Sexy. Can you be
stick
naughty
it in my
cat.
little kitty cat butt, Katie.
Put your hand down. Put your paw down.
Ooh, use
Yeah.
that sandpapery
And
tongue.
and then I got a new. I had pre-ordered the new Star Wars Thrawn book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A couple months ago, and it
Is
finally
it the
released
Kit Kat?
on the 24th. So blew through that and read
Done
it
already?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
wow.
It was really good.
Thrawn is blue.
Yes.
You blew yourself.
I just finished that episode today.
Very good.
That was like that was meta.
Yes.
It was.
On many levels. But yeah, it's a great story. It's
Let me guess. He commands some ship out of a hairy situation,
not him and Vader are teaming up on some stuff.
like
so-
some HR issues.
And then actually Vader doesn't cause any human resources issues in this book.
down the wing. Keep
Yeah.
saying Vader.
And then they show some flashback parts of the book. They kind of go back and forth between when Thrawn met Anakin Skywalker back during the Clone Wars, and then during the current, or well, not current day, but the present day as far as the book goes. Very interesting book.
Is this book considered canon?
Yeah.
It is?
yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
wondering
they
because
don't
of how
have
this
any
stuff.
They don't do Legends books anymore.
Okay.
Everything that comes out from this point, Chuck, shall be canon
Yeah.
Okay.
until a bigger fish buys Disney, like the government.
Like
Yeah.
a whale.
Trump Entertainment brings explosions and boob violence.
Boob violence.
I think I stole that from something.
Just Michael Bay is the only director for it.
Yeah, Michael Bay is. Yeah.
Show me your boobs.
We got old Titty Burton.
Man,
gotta
show me
have
those
to-
torpedoes.
They have to change their name to anything breast related.
Now, did you use Audible or
Boob
did you
violence.
actually have a
Audible.
physical book? Audible? Okay.
Use auto boob.
Getting better.
No, it's not.
I know.
We're going down a path of shit.
Yeah.
All right, TJ.
I'm
Sorry,
done.
keep going. Okay, just
Yeah.
Chuck.
Hi.
He wasn't finished. He's done.
Done with this shit.
Oh, he's getting out of his chair and he's exiting the room.
Yeah.
Tuesday, I finally got from Big Bad Toy Store my X-Men Wave 3 Apocalypse Build-A-Figure set, finally.
Tildo.
Have not
Bildo.
opened any of the figures yet. I brought it and showed everybody. Couple people like the scale of some of the figures, like the Wolverine, how he's a lot smaller. Or he's smaller than the other characters. Ray TJ, not fan of some of the aesthetics of Magneto.
Well, and
but,
some of the sculpts, the face sculpts.
I know
I
some
don't
are a
know
little
if it's
wonky.
just because they've been into so many Hot Toys, and it's like, oh, this looks exactly like the person.
Yeah.
I'm not as into them.
I mean, I get that, but I mean, for the price point, I like them.
Fuck.
Don't worry about my face.
I'm actually
So
excited
melted.
to break open the cases because I have not taken them out yet, and get Apocalypse put together.
You break
But,
that apart.
Other than that, I was able to acquire a
When did that
toy-
come in finally?
Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at work when it came in, and I left and picked it up.
So you can leave to randomly get a package. I'm just abandoning my job.
Yeah.
To go get this package.
Oh, I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm digging off right now. I'm going to go pick this up real quick. Because the office closes at 5, and I didn't wait till Friday to possibly pick it up.
So
You should
let me get
probably
this straight.
Dick off
Can
and maybe
dick off
come
and-
to the beach.
Yeah. You can't dick off and leave a little early to go to like the river
Or the beach.
The beach.
The beach.
Yeah.
I
Trying
could
to understand
see
this.
Chuck.
I left at like 3 and was back by like 3:30.
Yeah. But you could
Top
leave at like
broke
8 and get back by like
8 in the morning?
p.m.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's a much
No.
better plan.
I like this plan better.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to go with this one.
Yeah,
from
you
now on.
can keep forcing this on me. But
That's
also,
what
they
we
will
do.
pick
We
up
force it on you.
Toy Biz Blackheart for $10. Also, that came in this week. For some reason, I've always wanted the character for some reason. I'm not very vast in knowledge of Blackheart. I just like the aesthetic of the character. So for
Is
$10,
there like a comic when you were a kid that you had? Or like one of those cards or something?
maybe in a card, but also I think he was also in the Marvel Superheroes game,
Yeah,
the
he
arcade
was.
fighter.
Tell me about Blackheart. I don't know what that person
Oh, yeah, I
does.
remember that.
He's the son of Mephisto.
Yeah.
Son of the devil,
Who-
basically.
is Mephisto reggae? Mephisto.
He has been from time to time.
Yes.
But other than that,
Mephisto.
I've
That's all you're going to tell
He
me is that he's
prefers
the son of
Ray
I don't know.
homosexual.
Like I said, I don't know much about Blackheart.
You just
except for
like how he looks?
Yes.
He's a Ghost Rider villain.
Okay.
Mostly, yeah.
And
Mostly.
the main thing I've done this week, besides watching some more of Arrested Development season 1, was
Masturbating.
every morning.
Christ debating.
Wednesday, Hulu dropped their new series, Castle Rock.
Yeah, boy.
Did you watch it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I love it.
Are you done with it?
yeah. It's only 3
No,
episodes so far.
Hulu, and I'm mad at Hulu because of this, because they're releasing episodes weekly.
Yeah, but they
Every
Like a
Wednesday.
normal
They
TV
drop it.
show.
I know, but I'm like, this is Hulu. It's a streaming
No,
service.
Did you not hear my incredulity? I was with you.
Yeah, but it's weird because they literally Wednesday they drop 3 episodes, and then you have to wait every week now.
That's how they do it.
Dude,
They
no, I
drop
was
3.
pissed. I was pissed.
But it's
I cut
it's
cable
so-
TV for this bullshit.
Yeah, it's really
good.
damn
This is why
good.
Hulu's number 2.
Yes, it's well shot. The acting is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like,
So wait, is it Castle Rock or is it Rasslecock?
Castle Rock.
I mean, because they like wrestling, so
I mean,
Yeah.
you want to join in on this one, Nathan? Because we both
yeah.
seen it.
No, yeah, absolutely.
tell me about it.
So it's kind of got, I guess, 2 sub stories that meet together by episode 2 or 3. I
Like
don't want to
submarines?
Yeah, sorry, not yeah.
Pretty much 2 submarine
There's 2
stories.
submarines in the ocean
Yeah.
that they both land at Castle Rock,
Now,
and they're both invaded by ghost Navy seamen, and they get out and they spread all over Castle Rock, invading the Shawshank
So that's
prison.
why. No, so it is
Oh, God.
Rasslecock.
It's Razzlecock, and they have to wrestle all the cocks out.
Is it wasn't that like the evil guy that your granddad told you about, old
Russell
Rasslecock?
Old Russell Buck. All right, no, the
does it
true
take-
thing of
it takes place in. It starts off. Was it 91 or 81? I couldn't remember that date.
That's 71,
well, it jumps around on the time date. Yeah, it
No,
starts.
at the
It starts
very
probably in the 70s.
1870s.
Because literally it starts off. The show opens. You see a guy in a car, and he puts a ski mask on. Then he starts loading a revolver,
So he's not going to be skiing.
and you're like, "Is this guy going to rob a bank? What's he
no,
doing?" And
he's
he just
still
drives.
skiing.
He goes into the woods. He's got a stick, and he's just hitting it
it
into the
off.
ground.
He's looking for dead bodies.
And he hits something, and he starts panicking. He digs it up, and it's a deer. He covers it up, and he keeps going. He sits in front of a lake that's frozen over, about to drink from his thermos, and he looks up, and he sees this kid that was not there before standing in the middle of the lake, and he yells Henry, runs to him. Then it goes to the current warden of Shawshank,
Modern day, yeah.
about 2018, getting ready to leave for work, and he has an accident. He has another warden come in, and she finds out that there's a level of Shawshank that has been uninhabited for 30 years. They send someone down there, and they find a guy in like this, what was like a big water silo or something?
It's like a water silo. They climb down there, and he's been caged up pretty much the entire time for about 30 years. And I'd say that's about as much as we should really go a bit without, like, because that's...
Was he
all
behind
within
a
the first-
Raquel Welch poster? Was that how you got to him?
Yeah, they had to hit the tunnel through. But it's just like they're all kind of go back and forth, and the story combines because the guy that's in the cell won't speak. He only says 3 words, and it's the Henry kid
Michael Devers.
He says his name. That's it, and he's a lawyer in Texas, but he's from Castle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a call and kind of comes back, and just weirdness is going on in this town.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very addicted to this show. It's so well done. And it has the right amount of creep without being just overly trying to be scary. It's also got a lot of mystery and stuff like that going on.
Yeah, when the chick got her house broken into the second time, that kind of threw me off guard.
Like I said, a bunch of just little weird things happening and like building kind of the whole mystery of what Maine is to Stephen King with all the craziness that happens.
Is it based off a specific book?
I don't
It's
know.
supposed to be a combination of a multiverse.
Because I know Castle Rock is a town in many Stephen King books.
I think it's Castle Rock.
It's in
They
Derry.
mentioned it.
Okay.
They mentioned Castle Rock in it. They mentioned Castle Rock.
Shawshank is definitely because that's the
Needful
prison in
Things
there.
is in Castle Rock. I think
they
Pet
mentioned it in
Sematary.
Dreamcatcher as well.
Yeah.
So I think the only references, I had to look one up, it's the character Scott Glenn plays. He's mentioned, I think, in Needful Things and some other books, and they've made one reference I've noticed off the bat with the rabid dog terrorizes town.
Cujo.
That's
Cujo was
it that I've
based
seen
in there,
so far,
Yeah.
besides Shawshank.
But it's definitely, I think, a story within its own. It just takes place in that world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I highly
Sounds really
Yes.
good.
suggest checking this show out. If you have Hulu, it's worth every minute that you
Yep.
put into it.
No, I have friends who have Hulu, but
Yeah,
Let me
once
know,
it-
man. You can come over and watch it with me.
I get invited so very little.
But once it was done, once I finished the
We're
third
gonna do this
episode,
right now.
I'm like,
We're gonna do this right now on air.
do I need to watch this again?
Always fucking invited to my house, Mike.
Every time I show up, though, like, I don't know, man. You're like naked and
Get out of my bedroom.
If you're gonna show up at my house, you got to deal with me being naked. I mean,
you like sick the dog on me, but like the dog's like red rocketing. It's really. I mean,
it's how my house is. It's a little weird.
I don't mind it. It's just smell is really kind of what gets to me.
Well, you know, I have a heavy BO, especially when I'm naked and I'm beating off on my couch with my dog next to me. Gets hot. I don't run the AC because I can't afford it.
It's more tangible
that-
than a BO. It's more of like
chode BO.
it's more like
Hefty.
it's more like a
It's choke
must,
stink.
Yeah,
like a
choke
dense
stank.
I
must.
have to put deodorant on underneath where my penis meets my balls because it's like another armpit.
It reminds me of like 6 a.m. in the middle of summer in Florida when you just had to swim to your car. There's just
It's so humid.
Yeah, it's very thick.
very
All right, sorry,
thick
Chuck.
ball
We had to
slap.
finish that.
No, that was it. Marvel
All right.
Legends and Castle Rock.
Michael.
I didn't do a damn thing.
All right, Ray.
No, okay. My big thing is I started playing Fallout 4. Finally beat Left 4 Dead. I finally beat Last of Us. Remastered for a second time. God damn, I just want number 2 to come out right now. I'm so excited for it.
When does it come out? I don't know.
I don't think
Is
they've
it the
had
end of the year?
I don't know if they've done a concrete release date yet, but I think the way the marketing is going, maybe it's either going to be this year or next year. I mean, hopefully this year because the gameplay trailer looked pretty solid.
But isn't the new one going to be online only?
No, it better not be.
That's what I've been
No,
hearing.
that's Fallout 4. He's talking about Last of Us 2.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I was getting our storyline.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm playing Fallout 4 now. Just started.
Have you played it before?
No, this
Oh,
game,
this is your first time.
yeah, the game has a very steep learning curve for like building construction and like
Yeah.
fortifying
Yeah.
your town. It was very
I hated that how hard it was to figure some of that stuff out. I felt like
like it took me forever to figure out how to get my to get out of the power armor they give you at the very beginning of the game. I was like, what the fuck? But I ended up scrapping a bunch of houses and putting all the steel into my power armor. But I'm pretty awesome now. I know TJ said that they kind of they shoehorn it very much into the game, so you have to do that, I guess.
At some point,
You have to
yeah.
build your town,
I didn't. I mean, I haven't finished the game yet, but
obviously.
I didn't have a lot of that I had to do, like build my town
I
up.
did the bare minimum of having to do builds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's green. That's all I care about, other than food. I don't know how to get food yet.
You have to plant it.
But, like, where the fuck do I get it?
I don't remember.
I guess I just
now.
found, like, carrots in a 200-year-old wasteland.
Yeah.
I think that's how that works.
Mutation carrots.
But, I mean, the game's fun. Like, it's just they throw you right into it. I made a sexy-looking dude. He looks like that one soccer player that's really
Andre
famous.
Agassi.
Andre Agassi does not play soccer.
Ronaldo.
No, older than Ronaldo.
Pele?
Pele, yes, absolutely.
Younger than Pele.
Oh, well, there's
He's
no
British.
one else.
Beckham.
Beckham, there you go. David Beckham. He looks like David Beckham.
David Blaine. I do like his magic. It's weird that you would go that way. He doesn't play soccer though. He's a magician, David Blaine.
Well, the thing is, I made him David Blaine, and I made his luck like
Illusions.
10. His luck is full 10.
Nice.
So, I mean, that and his agility, his
David
perception, all very powerful things.
Hi, I'm David Bland.
Can't fight for shit.
I like doing nothing, and I love boiling all my meat.
That sounds amazing. I go to Subway, and I order ham and cheese on white with lots of mayo.
Whoa. I didn't order a spicy sandwich. Can you put that yellow mustard down?
Oh, yeah. PB&J. No thanks. Way too sweet.
Yeah.
I just crush berries I find on the side of the road together.
My name is David Bland.
David Bland.
Go back.
I have sex with pulling my wiener through my underwear hole.
Much like the Orthodox Jewish who have sex through a bedsheet.
Yeah.
Go back to talking about the release date. All I can find so far is like 2019, no date.
Motherfucker. Okay, well, I'll just have to deal with that disappointment forever. But that's okay. The way my life is speeding up, I feel 2019 will be here in no time.
Yeah.
And so will 2070 when I die. When I'll be 85.
So
That's
You're
about
like-
it for my nerd on.
you're liking
All
that?
I'm just going to die.
Okay. Well, we'll move
Okay,
on.
let's go for
Ended
Ray's
on a
half
real-
hour nerd
on
on.
a real high note there.
Smoke them if you got them.
We're all going to die.
So
You
last
don't have
week
to keep the same job
on
you're in
the
right now.
after the podcast, I break my microphone. I'll usually watch a movie or something while I'm waiting for all the stuff to upload. And I watched Unbreakable. I haven't seen it in...
Unbreakable. I like the Kimmy Schmidt show, Unbreakable. It's pretty good. It's
I
weird.
watched part of it.
What does that have to do with M. Night Shyamalan?
I never said M. Night Shyamalan.
You're going to watch Split tonight?
I don't know. I'm just not into the idea of it. But I wanted to watch this again, and it suffers from the from like M. Night's most of his movies. I watched it when it came out, so I knew that Samuel Jackson is the bad guy. So the whole time through, I'm just waiting for him to be the bad guy, and then it's like the last minute. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I waited for what I already knew, but it was fine. It was a little bit slow paced, which doesn't bother me for a movie. But it just seemed older than it actually is. It seemed like an older film than it actually is, but
It's pretty old though.
it is 2004, 2005, something like that.
It's over 15 years old.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like it had the pacing of like a
I think
70s
it's older
movie.
than that because I think it came out when I was in high school.
All of Shyamalan's movies usually are paced very slowly.
Yeah.
99 or 2000, but I guess 2004 is about right.
Okay. Which, I mean, like... See, I need to rewatch it because, like, in my mind, I remember all the
It was
all the
2000,
scenes,
I guess,
and
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because I like it's just a slow build of Bruce Willis's character kind of slowly coming to terms with him.
what he is.
You know, him even denying the fact that he has powers. But I like the little things like when he goes to work and he's like, "Hey, find out if I ever took a sick day." And like I don't know, I just love the boss is like, "All right, I get it.
I get
you
it,
know,
yeah.
You get a raise, you asshole.
Yeah.
You know, take a day off, you son of a bitch."
Yeah,
It's
for
like
real.
Chuck, you should. Hey, can you go check how many days I've called out? And he'll come back and be like, "All right, motherfucker, here's a quarter raise."
Yeah.
Quarter? No.
There's 5 pounds
A
of
quarter,
wheel.
a
Here's-
quarter.
Here's a knife sharpener.
Not hourly. Here's
earned
a
it.
quarter
Yeah.
raise.
A 1 quarter. But yeah, so I watched that last week because
Golly, Mr. Jenkins, I really appreciate this.
That's 2 cents for every year you've been here, Chuck.
I've never seen so much money in my hand.
Yeah, it's almost that. Damn.
Oh god,
That got him.
Your misfortune fuels me.
and like I said, or like TJ said earlier, I finished
Chuck.
season 5 of Arrested Development. We still really liked it. I think season 1, 2 through 3 you just can't top, and it feels like they're trying real hard in 4 and 5.
Yeah.
but it's still enjoyable. There's still
Hey
funny
guys,
things.
we're relevant.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like.
Remember
We're
the
still funny.
cornballer?
They actually did bring the
I was a
cornballer back
chicken.
in this
They
one.
did.
Yeah.
They only make one chicken reference, and it was a very mild one, so that was pretty good.
I could literally watch them do an hour of just chicken
chickens?
impressions
Yeah.
because like that's some of my favorite stuff.
Tobias in that damn ostrich outfit though was
God, yeah. There's some good to it. So if you haven't watched it or you skipped season 4, because I did,
What
watch
kind
the
of
remix.
Fan are you?
And season 5's fine. It's only like
Ceiling
8 episodes,
fan.
so it's easy to get through.
Yeah, it's short enough before it starts to suck. That's what Ray's saying.
I did read some comics this week. I've been reading New Mutants. And
Haggard the Horrible. That joke always makes me laugh.
Those are called funnies, Michael.
yeah, oh, come on.
Oh, Jerry.
So I've been reading New Mutants, and Bill Sienkiewicz has finally come on the scene. He's
What's this person's name?
Bill Sienkiewicz.
What's his
That
powers?
is such a fake name.
Huh?
You got to see
What are
the
his
spelling
powers?
of it.
His powers are he's an amazing
I'm
artist.
Frank
that did,
Cabbage.
Oh, okay. When you said
Yeah.
he's showing up, I thought it was a character.
No. He starts doing the art in New Mutants right around, maybe right before Demon Bear Saga.
It is.
My
It's
favorite
right before.
New Mutant character is the guy that has invisibility in the dark. Or the other guy that has instant hair loss. He was really good, but then there was also Turn Into a Laptop Forever. man, what his CPU power
Bullet
was
attractor.
crazy. And acid tears.
Oh, acid tears. These actually sound like powers of people from not Exiles, but X-Force turned into
Ecstatic.
Ecstatics. Yeah,
Yeah,
they had some ridiculous stuff.
my favorite though is a super slow mo guy.
But yeah, Bill Sienkiewicz has shown up on the scene, and he is an incredible artist. His stuff is so wild. I hated it when I was a kid. When I saw it as a kid, I was like, "What?" Someone gave some kid some fucking crayons, and they're just making this thing, because his art is not typical comic book art. But I've really, really, really been enjoying that, and I had forgotten how much I loved Claremont of that era. So him and Sienkiewicz together are so good, so good. I also picked up a box of comics this week, like a
So
whole
heavy.
box.
Another.
I don't
Another
know.
box.
I don't know why, but for a second I thought you were going to say a box of condoms. I was like,
I
yeah,
picked
you
up a
did.
box of condoms.
It's the
Got me
exact
a
opposite,
Big old
actually.
bag of dong bags.
Some big old dong bags.
Well, everyone check their Snapchats later, and you'll see that that's incorrect.
But yeah, I picked up me and Allison went to Gainesville, and there was a guy selling some stuff, and he had a box of comics. I asked how much he wanted for them. He said, "Give me $10 for the box." So I picked up a whole nother box. I got a lot of heavy metal magazines,
Which he's giving to me.
which have some gorgeous art in them.
Nice.
A lot of titties, but also gorgeous art. And nothing like huge, great in it,
Other than the titties.
other than the titties.
Titty art.
But I did get a few things, like I got a first appearance of Spider-Man 2099. I got a Hellblazer #1, and I got a couple of Tales of Suspense, old 12-cent Tales
Yeah, I
of
saw
Suspense.
those.
So like all of those, and a bunch of just Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I also when we got back from Gainesville, I went to the flea market, and I picked up one of the 2 final comics that I need to finish my West Coast Avengers. I picked up issue number 34, so now I just need issue number 100, and I'm good to go
wow.
with that. Yeah,
That's probably the hardest one, isn't it?
no, it's you've seen it before. It's like the red embossed like foil cover.
Mm-hmm.
I used to see it all the time, and I just haven't been to a place where I could just pick it
I
up.
thought it was a low run because the series wasn't doing great, so that's why they tried to do a Force Works. Because
I
that's
don't-
when
I don't
isn't
know.
that the Force
That-
Works switch?
That I'm not sure, but it ends in 1:30.
Okay, yeah.
So
Never
anyway,
mind. No, it's not then.
But yeah. So I've already got those. So it's just 100.
So what's
that I
so
need.
great about these West Coast Avengers?
I just like comics of teams that are like kind of obscure. So that's why Alpha Flight was one. These are just cheap comics to like get a whole run of. And then, then I have them to read through and everything.
He only got to wait like another 10 years, and Disney will be scraping that bottle. And everything.
Yeah.
Let's do West Coast Avengers.
West Coast Avengers. And I'm like, got the whole run. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to buy a Jeep or some shit.
Honey, I'm retiring.
To give them an idea of where Iron Man was at during that period.
Yeah.
That's
Iron
the team
Man
he was heading up.
Iron Man was heading up West Coast Avengers back during the 90s and 80s. Is it 80s?
I think it was
probably
80s.
80s and 90s. This is how big time Iron Man was back then. He was a C-list Avenger. He was a C-list character.
Scarlet Witch was on that team as well.
Vision, Hawkeye.
So you're saying that we're watching West Coast Avenger movies?
That's pretty much what I'm hearing.
Close to it, but without Moon Knight, like the coolest character.
Thank God.
I also
Nobody's ass is that powerful.
I also started Valkyrian Chronicles. I have the remaster of it. I've played it before on PS3, but a buddy of mine sent me the remaster for PS4, and I threw it in the other day. And
Hard as a cook.
God, I love those kind of games because I kind of got when I did XCOM. It's a similar game. This one's a lot more like anime aesthetic and all, but it's got a decent story to it. It's got decent music. It's got good music. It's like watercolor art. So the art for it is absolutely gorgeous. So I've been digging that. So that has been my nerd on for the week.
All right, guys. Well, besides Castle Rock, which was a big just chunk of what I did because the show was, yet again, so good. I just got to really drive that home. Been watching a lot of Teen Titans Go with my kid, and man, I am wrong. I thought I would not like this show, and just the more I watch it, it is just a golden show. Just hilarious.
I felt the same way about Ultimate Spider-Man a few years ago. Like I did not think I would like it at all, and then
because it's sort of kid friendly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started. I don't know if you were here when I talked about it. I played a few episodes of that, and I thought it was hilarious.
The humor is just dead on with what you want, and like I just like the little subtle things, like pictures of Batman in the background, and just like Robin's like trying to get at still even in that show, they doesn't want to be compared to Batman. And
I feel like fanboys hate these kind of shows so much because they're like, oh, it was just so kiddie looking, blah blah blah. But they give so much fan service in these kind of shows because they did the same thing with Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there's tons of like you said, little Easter eggs and stuff like that going on.
Yeah, if you want something just or
Spider
lightweight to watch and just something to throw on and kind of chuckle at, as an adult, Teen Titans Go is all go for me. Hey,
what are you watching it on? Hulu? Netflix?
Yeah, they got the full series on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah. A weird show that I never thought I would watch. It just started playing at the Castle Rock. Like we were kind of sitting around talking, and I'm hooked. And it's slightly embarrassing, but I just got to throw it there. Is the fucking Mindy Project?
Mindy Project's good, dude.
It is really good. I had put it off for so long. Well, I think I kept getting confused for the New Girl because I tried the New Girl and I did not like it.
New Girl takes a while to get into.
The Mindy Project first episode was
concentrate
great.
on her.
No.
New Girl, you can't concentrate on.
Mindy Project is great.
It's got a lot.
Project is Mindy Kaling from
The
Office. Kelly.
So many Office people drop by too. It's pretty funny. Like
so many just famous people. Because Seth Rogen's in it, and
he hasn't been in it yet.
He hasn't been in it.
Well, I think we're like 10 episodes in, but like we've had Ryan, Aaron, Andy. I'm just naming Office characters.
BJ Novak, Ellie Kemper, Ed Helms.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's actually the people from The Office. They're like, hey, Kelly, Mindy,
it's
you
me,
became a
Andy.
Doctor? Yeah. But the show is pretty dead on with the humor, especially the one Wahlberg guy that's in it. Not Mark. It's one of his brothers.
Donnie.
It's Donnie. Yeah, he looks like slightly dumb. Like he looks really.
Adam Baldwin. Wahlberg.
But man, yeah, like I said, that's been like what the rest of this week. The only other thing besides that has been working on a picture, like putting a lot of hours into it. Is Dwight. Belschnickel.
That looks good so far. The progress you've done.
It's coming. It's taking a lot of time, but
there's
I'm
a lot
really
of detail to it, like with the feathering and with the beard. Also, in
doing
the hair.
a lot of hair, like whipping out. So I'll post that when I'm done. And I made you guys didn't really say much about my Thanos video I made, but I had a lot of fun making that.
I thought it was hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah. guessing
So
Ray.
Saint
I
Jim
watched
consider.
But
Ray's like it's
I was
not
trying to
comic
remember why,
accurate.
because I watched it before I was going to bed, and Allison got pissed. She's like, "What the fuck are you watching? Turn that off. That's too loud. Turn it off." I'm
Allison
like,
got
"Shut up! I'm watching this video. It's funny."
This the second part didn't happen.
No, it didn't. I just turned it
And I
off.
said, "Bitch!" And he's like, "You said that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, later."
When she was gone.
So I'll post the Thanos video on the Nerds
Thanos.
Instagram because it's having the Infinity
and
Gauntlet at work for a day, and it's not as
Easy.
helpful as you think
Yeah.
it would be.
My tablet's not working.
It's fucking just snapping my fingers on every customer that comes in. Now, I'm losing my customer base at an alarming rate.
Half of them are missing.
But
Why are your sales
It's
down
all
by 50%?
but that
Whoa, hold up. There was something y'all did yesterday, and y'all didn't mention it yet.
Oh, the
For
food
Nerd
party?
On. Yeah.
Well,
I know I
figured
wasn't
not
there.
to mention it since all of us weren't there.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't there.
And that's it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the most
You're
important.
part
y'all
of the team,
discussed
man. Your crew.
I
Chuck
missed
turns
out
his
on
nose
an
up on our
amazing
friendship every day.
night, and
Yes.
apparently I missed out on some amazing food.
TJ and his wife Katie,
Thank you, Michael.
Catherine Zeta Boner, decided to throw a soul food party,
We're sorry, Kathy.
and everyone
Herndunk.
brought their A game. We had 2 different kinds of collards, 3 different kinds of black-eyed peas.
3? Were there 3?
I had
There were
field peas, and they were black-eyed, and there were 2 black-eyed peas.
Yours were
okay.
field peas?
Yeah.
The red ones?
Yeah.
They were really good. I enjoyed them. We had cheese grits, which were amazing. I'm
Yeah,
not,
those were some of
I'm
the
not
best.
normally a grit fan.
Oh, I love grits. Those were some
Yeah.
of the best cheese grits I've had.
Yes.
We had some delicious macaroni and cheese from the Bachman
Of course.
household.
Yeah.
Some amazing Nashville hot chicken bites
so
from
good.
Ray.
Those were my favorite.
Dangerous.
That
I paid
Man.
dearly.
did you really?
Worth every
I
second.
didn't do too much hot sauce, so I did all right.
Hot
Yeah,
sauce was
I
so
did
good
fine.
though.
I
I
did
followed
just a little
Ray's
bit.
advice at
Yeah,
the
you-
beginning. He said, just a little bit. I'm
Well,
like,
see,
okay.
Ray said hot sauce, but what it is, it's cayenne pepper emulsified in butter
Yeah,
with a little something else. But
honey
that's
and a little honey and a little brown sugar.
so it just kind of spreads
It
over your
sneaks up
face
on
like
you.
mace.
But it was like a fucking almost whole container of cayenne pepper is what the recipe called for, and I didn't even put as much because I'm notorious for making things too spicy.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, this is too much.
Yeah.
So I didn't even go by the recipe.
So you went mild with it.
yeah, but
that shit
It
wasn't
was
mild.
still, yeah, it was not wild.
it just with the fried chicken and with the without the sauce on it was still I really
Yes.
enjoyed that.
It's what it tasted like indigestion, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Like it's just that kind of
It was a good time of
Yes,
friends hanging
but
out and conversating.
I have to say, the highlight to me, it wasn't the most presentable thing, but it's the fucking most delicious.
that cornmeal cake that Brie
corn,
made?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
God
my
my
damn.
God.
She
it
told me
was so
she said she
good.
was making that, and I was like, "Well, that sounds disgusting."
yeah,
And
because
it
it was
was
like
delicious.
a sweet corn cake, but corn can be really sweet, like really
absolutely.
sweet.
Yeah.
But the thing I could the
corn
closest thing I
syrup?
could akin to it was like an orange flavored cobbler crust.
Yeah.
It was so buttery
Yeah.
and so good. And then Allison made some amazing pineapple squares. I know we've
Yeah.
been talking about food for like the last 20 minutes, but God, it was so
That's half
good.
of
That's
what
not
we
boring.
like. Yeah, that's not boring. That's what we.
Nathan disagrees.
this is pretty boring.
Oh,
The food was
But
good.
we
though.
talked about nerd stuff the whole time.
yes.
All right, we're gonna switch over to news and come back.
The booze news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to the newsman of the evening, Jimmy Ray Hancock. Come on now. He's with the news. You're gonna read the news now. Jimmy Ray is with the news. Hey Ray, what type of news you got tonight? I hope it's good. This is Ray with the news. Here we go. Ray's with the news chat. Ray's with the news chat. Ray's with the news chat. Ray's with the news chat.
All right.
Subject
So first up on the docket, we have that Disney. Their
verdict is
the shareholders approved the purchase of Fox.
We approve.
Yep.
That was actually the message.
Yeah.
And
It's
Fox
a
approved
bunch
as
of
well.
angry-
Yeah, everyone
Oh,
approved. Awesome,
declare
Disney. So it looks like mid 2019 is when that'll probably be done getting through all of its stuff, because there's still, they have to do some overseas stuff, and there's still some things.
You
they
know
have
what?
to do.
I'm really curious is like what convenience store is going to cash that check? Like, because they when it's over $1,000, they get kind of nervous. When they walk in with that giant size check that they get,
Hey, Mouse, I'm gonna need your fingerprint.
yeah, like fucking Robert, is it Murdoch that owns Fox? Is gonna like jump into his station wagon and roll up to the quickest 7-Eleven. Like, I need to cash this check for a couple of billion. I'm good for it.
Isn't he Australian? Oi! I need to catch this.
Hey, over there! I don't do a very good Australian.
It sounds almost
It's
like
It was Scottish.
that's more like South African meets New
Little-
Zealand.
little New
is beating
Zealand.
up Scottish. Yeah, fuck you,
I got
man.
this. I got this check.
Like Canadian.
Just
type
getting
of-
I just want a podcast of Nathan trying to speak Australian.
trying to do any impressions, any accents.
Any
It's about
accents.
time I get my check cashed. I got a shrimp on the Barbie back here.
Oh my God.
Oh man! All right, moving on. MoviePass this last weekend.
That turd
week.
just sinking.
No, yeah, they crashed, or it crashed and quit running and everything because they ran out of money. Apparently, they had to get a $5 million loan.
The question I want to know is though, what 7-Eleven did they go cash at?
They
And then how did they upload it to the app?
They need to talk to the Murdochs and see if they can borrow some money from them.
I got a couple of dollars for you.
Hey man, just take it out of the register, man, and put it in my phone.
Cha-ching.
So all of us
Or
except
if they PayPal'd it.
for
How many fees did they have to pay?
yeah.
Friends and family, I'm good for it.
71. Man, that would be hilarious. So most of us have a MoviePass, right?
I don't.
No,
3 of us do.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you had one, Mike.
no.
Mike is
Mike's
really
the
like,
one that needed it.
I like to waste my money and then complain later about being broke.
Yeah, so
Remember that movie we didn't see this Friday?
I know,
Because of your
but out
shitty
of all of
system?
us, you would have benefited the most out of MoviePass.
Yeah,
trust
absolutely. You watch more movies than most of us.
I watch the same amount of movies you guys do.
Yeah.
Every movie I've watched this year, almost you guys have been there.
But yeah, me and Allison have been using the hell out of it. But
You're the
just-
reason they needed the $5 million.
maybe. Well, not that much, but we go see like 2 or 3 movies.
Them old Hancocks won't stop watching them movies.
I seriously think they're growing faster than they expected, and it's taking out of their bottom line.
Yeah.
Because word of mouth has been spread. Like, more and more people are using it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, last time I went to there was like everybody that was buying tickets had a MoviePass.
Yeah.
And which is great, but I don't think they were ready to capitalize on their business strategy of what they were trying to plan for, because they've
It's
introduced like the fees at peak value and stuff, and things like that. I'm like, it sucks, because it's not what we signed up for. We signed up for $10 for movies,
Unlimited movies.
but unless you signed up for the year, because I got a buddy of mine. Weirdly enough, I have started a pretty strong friendship with my UPS driver over MoviePass. We've been texting all weekend about MoviePass. It's like you know how you got your work person where you just talk about the one topic?
Yeah.
It's fucking MoviePass at work. Like, Scooby comes in, he's like, man, MoviePass wasn't working the other day, and we bitch about it as we walk to the back, and then we bitch about it as we walk out.
I love Scooby.
Yeah, but we're texting each other about fucking MoviePass.
That's hilarious.
But because they try to introduce the peak time fees, which is shitty, but at the same time, it's still a value of a product, because if you go see movies
Yeah.
a lot, you're getting a better rate. If you got MoviePass so you can see more movies without paying money,
Yeah.
it's not a good deal for you.
Well, and because I double checked again today, because
Sounds like a lot of hassle for a lot of nothing.
Because Friday we were looking at stuff, and we were going to go see
Mission Impossible Fallout.
and it was 3D, so we couldn't go anyway.
which we already,
But Nathan had mentioned, I'm going to take Marshall to go see Teen Titans. I'm like, well, fuck. Since we were going to go to the movies anyway, I'd go see Teen Titans at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
If I
I
have
looked
to
at
pay
that.
for it, I'd go see it.
Yeah, and I looked at that, and it was like a $5.75 upcharge of fee.
Yeah, surcharge.
So I was
What
like,
was
okay,
that about?
That's their new thing, and
It's their peak time.
It's peak
When-
times. So
when
I
you
checked
look at-
today.
When you
I
look-
checked Sunday,
Go ahead.
and to see like, okay, well, what's not peak times? Everything was peak time today.
I think it's like Monday through Thursday And probably Thursday night would be considered.
If the next time we go to see a Thursday night movie,
oh no, that will 100% be a peak time.
Yeah,
especially if it's a launch movie.
I don't know if there's any use in keeping it at that point.
Well, like I
they're
said,
just encouraging you to go on slow nights.
Well, like you get one wave fee, peak time fee a month, which kind of that justifies your $10. But that's what I was saying. Like MoviePass still isn't a bad value if they stay in fucking business.
Yeah.
Because you're paying $10. An average movie is $13. You go see one movie a month, you done save $3.
I'm curious what the business model that Regal and AMC are going to be coming out with, because they're coming out with their own versions of this. So I'm very curious how they're going to run theirs.
And you know what's going to? Well, that's exactly it. Like MoviePass is actually a brilliant idea. It's just they're first to market, and first to market, you either do really good or you come and you fizzle out because the market's not ready for it yet.
Yep.
Because people, the mics of the world they're like, it's too good to be true. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
What's the catch? It's $10. You sign up. No. What's the catch?
Well, and when we signed up, which was like 4 months ago, not very long ago, there weren't catches.
Yeah. And it's slowly, and like I said, their business model is changing, but at the same time, there's no contract, so you can cancel at any time. You don't like the changes.
Yeah.
Take your $10 somewhere else.
But you can't sign back up for 9 months.
Yeah. I didn't know that one. That's pretty interesting.
I went and read the rules on it. Because I was looking at peak pricing. I was like, well, what's the cancel thing? Because if these guys go out of business, I don't want them still trying to drag money out of my account.
Yeah.
Smart.
But the peak pricing, when they're advertising the peak pricing in their listing and everything, they're like, okay, at peak pricing, you might have to pay a small surcharge. And they're like $3 or something. I'm like, $3, okay.
Well, and today was $6. It was $5.75 for Friday.
I've heard,
but today it was $6.
I guess they gauge at it, and so like I said though, if you go to a lot of movies, it's still cheaper. It's still cheaper. I mean, like honestly, like you pay $13 every time, or if you see 2 movies and you got MoviePass, you paid $15.
Yeah.
Then you're just more now. You're being budget minded and not really like saving money a whole lot.
Yeah.
You're kind of budgeting for better deals. I see maybe a movie a month. So, like, for me, MoviePass is okay. I'm saving a couple $.
I think during the summer and during the winter, I see 2 or 3.
Exactly. Like, right now it's like the blockbuster season, so definitely seeing a little more movies.
Yeah.
It definitely hasn't worked out as smoothly as I thought it would be. That's for sure.
Well, and I would not have... Mike was like, let's go see Mission Impossible. If I didn't have MoviePass, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, I'd have been the same way.
But it was like, oh, well, I have MoviePass. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because when I was like, oh, there's a surcharge, Allison was like, okay, well, I don't want to go then. I don't think it's worth paying for me to actually see this movie. So I don't know how... I think it'll dissuade me from going to certain movies like that where I would have just gone to anything.
Yeah.
Just
if I
go
was
on
free.
like a Tuesday.
Now, with Nathan and TJ, because y'all have kids, how does it work with that? Is it just whoever has the
just
card?
have to get them a pass.
You have to get them their own version of it.
Okay, so for like,
but you have to have
you
a
and Katie,
pass.
and then you'd pay for.
Yeah,
your
I don't
kids.
have one for. Katie doesn't have one right now because we just wanted to try one out and see. Because normally, if I'm going to see a movie that all of us were going to go see for like talking about it on podcast or whatever else, or it's one I was going to go see anyway.
Okay.
And then Katie just comes along sometimes. So,
but like if you and Katie had one, you'd still. It works, but you'd have to pay more if you had your kids with you. So
yeah, you'd have to pay for the kids as well.
All right, that's enough about MoviePass. They're charging us extra money, them son of a bitches.
Well, because they need the money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they do, boy.
Hasbro is moving production out of China to avoid the tariffs that are going to be going into effect. So I think this is going to affect especially a lot of us because a lot of the nerd things we buy are used in China.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there was a nerd question that you might have, but I think it's a good time to bring up now, which someone had asked for TJ.
Oh,
the Hot Toys. Do you think that's why we're seeing higher prices for the estimated for next year because of tariffs?
Let me go ahead and bring that up real quick.
They've been raising prices for the past couple years.
No, they really have.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, like seeing...
There's been a pretty sharp jump recently.
Yeah.
So Matt, who's sent us an email, said, "Hey guys, fairly new listener here and first time writing in. I guess this question is mostly for TJ, but
thank you for writing in, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. But I look forward to everyone's answers. Hot Toys killed it at San Diego Comic-Con with a bunch of upcoming releases in their 1/6 line.
Yes,
Pre-orders for a couple of them went live on Sideshow's website the past week, such as Darth Maul, Spider-Man Advanced Suit, and War Machine, to name a few. What do you think is behind their significant price increases? Do you think it is from upcoming tariffs, cost of making the sculptures and the figures, or is Hot Toys just getting greedy? Personally, I'm going to order the new Darth Maul without question because he's my favorite Star Wars character, and this new sculpt looks amazing. Thanks, guys, and keep up the great pod.
Well, thank you
Number
again.
one, thanks for writing. Yeah, we appreciate that.
But don't sound thankful.
I do
thanks.
I do think it's I do think the tariffs are coming into play a little bit.
How are the local prices like the prices in China? Are they going up as well?
Yeah, there's from the different groups I'm in. There's a lot of Chinese members on there, or from Hong Kong and stuff. That's where this is based out of, and they're saying, yeah, these are significant kind of price changes for them as well. Because I think what was it, the Mark 46 and Mark 47. Those were like $360.
The Iron Mans.
Yeah, the Iron Mans. And the new War Machine and the new Mark 7 that they're talking about are like $415 or so.
Yeah.
One's $415. I think the Mark 7's $435.
$435, yeah.
And
the one from Infinity War that you ordered, Mike, was $405.
Yeah. And they still have an accessory kit, which
for $200.
Or
there's
probably be $200. Hopefully that's a little ridiculous.
There's some thoughts it may be over $200, closer to $240.
Wow.
Accessory pack. That's insane.
All of the prices that I said, because me as a person looking in that doesn't collect these, I enjoy the ones that these guys bring by. But it seems like steadily they've been stepping up these prices.
Yeah.
They're getting more well known.
That's true.
The standard price on a figure was, when me and Mike first started doing it, which was pretty much the same time, was about $180 to $200, depending on the figure and what came with it. Average price right now is around $250.
Oh,
because those are deluxe prices a year ago.
Yeah, this is for the main figures. They're about $250 for a main figure
and
now.
Some of those, and that's for prices with figures that don't even come with a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's
not a lot with them. Do
you think, because a lot of these are also the Marvel, Star Wars, do you think that Disney is charging a bigger tax on using their licenses?
I think that's another part of it too. I think there's several things going into it. I think the tariffs are going to. I don't think the tariffs necessarily have hit yet.
Well, I'm wondering with the pre-orders if they're preemptively raising for next year when that's going to be in effect.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going.
If not, that could just be their reasoning. But
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, they're like, all right, we're going to have these fees going up. Let's go ahead, because we're pre-ordering for 2019. Let's go ahead and put the price points that we're going to have to be, paying there.
Yeah, so they can recover some loss.
Because, and then the licensing, I think, is getting more expensive and stuff like that. So,
because honestly, with how huge Star Wars and Marvel is, because you got to think, even a couple years ago, Star Wars was just coming back into the limelight as huge with Force Awakens.
Yes.
And, now it's been around. You got all these other, like the additional ones and stuff. So there's even more people that are wanting the Star Wars Hot Toys. And you got Marvel. So the two biggest franchises in the world. And it's all there. So I'm sure they're paying a pretty penny for the licensing on this.
Yeah.
Because if they don't pay it, someone else would step in.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right, so moving on from that, the Get Out director, Jordan Peele, he is set to be working on a new Twilight Zone for CBS All Access. All Access is their, of course, online thing that they put out Star Trek Discovery on. I think it's interesting that they're pushing more shows on this platform.
Is he doing showrunner duties, or is he like a main director, or what?
I think a little bit of a lot of
producer, main producer.
Okay,
a little bit of all of that. I don't think
it's got to be cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So running off your own infrastructure.
Well, and they might even. Yeah, I would wonder, because they still got the TV show.
Yeah.
Or channel. Sorry, the revenue for ads.
This could be an eventual step towards no longer using television, but using the internet solely for television entertainment.
Well, I'm also curious to I wonder if they get more because right now there's so much profit in like user information, and I wonder if the data from when people log in and watch those stuff, if there's some other area, the reason they're pushing this to go
Well,
there.
I guarantee they can monitor the performance of the shows a lot quicker, a lot better.
They can see how long people watch it, like if people cut out, because if you DVR something, like for them on the ratings, it's been watched.
Yeah.
If you're online watching it and you stop halfway through and you don't come back, stuff like that, I wonder, it could be things like that. They can see how good a show's doing when people are like
check your IP address and all that kind of stuff.
So I wonder if there's a bigger reason besides obviously they want to have.
Well, they get all that information for advertising as well,
Exactly.
on what shows you watch,
because
and market better towards
they
it.
seem to be the main network other than like HBO Go and stuff, but like they're still not doing things that are all on their platform.
Well, that's the thing is like it's the first network, but it's not the first. It's not the first company to do
because you got
this.
YouTube that does
because other things are flocking and generating their own content. Verizon, AT&T, they're all trying to generate their own content.
I wonder how much CBS charges monthly.
It's like $6.99, I think.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to do it just for one show.
Just for start, I was going to do like I think you can get the 3 weeks.
Do the preview and just watch the show.
And just watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll wait.
Honey, get
this
the
comes
bucket.
out.
We're gonna. Honey, get the bucket and the coffee. We're gonna ride through this whole thing in a nap.
Because I'm almost. I feel like at some point I'm going to be paying basically what I was paying for cable again.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what's happening because they're them pulling stuff off of
absolutely.
Netflix and Hulu. Everyone's going to have their own subscription service, and if you want to see their content, you're going to have to sign up for it, just like cable packages.
And what's crazy is people always complain, like, I want to choose my channels. Well, now you're choosing your channels, but you're actually getting less content for more money.
Yeah.
And also, I think forces a lot of these companies to produce more content.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily good content.
Yeah.
It's just content.
But bad content does pay because then they get less people subscribing. And I will say that's the only thing I could see good coming from this, because if you're putting out shit, people aren't going to pay your monthly fees. They'll cut off, so you are forced to kind of come up with better stuff. Kind of like because Netflix had a big drop in their stock, and a lot of people says because their last showing of shows they came out with didn't perform like their previous shows they put out there.
I think that's another thing is Netflix is becoming more mass produced. I feel like that they don't possibly. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't watch Netflix because I can't. But it seems like a lot of the quality of their shows have, kind of like it's more hit or miss now. But there's also more variety.
Their shows are still good. They're willing to take risk, but when you take risks, there's sometimes you're going to put out a property that's not good. You might have swung and it didn't have the same. It didn't resonate with the audience the same way. Like Stranger Things, that came out of nowhere and people fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And I don't think we talked about it at all before the show. We actually seen it come out. I don't remember ever.
No, I don't think so.
But there's those things that just come out and all of a sudden it hits, and then Netflix will come out with other shows, and just nothing happens. You see it for a day or two, and then that's it. It just fizzles out.
Or it's like hot shit for a week.
Yeah,
and then, like you said, you just don't hear from them.
There was that one 13 Reasons. The first season came out
month or so.
People talked about it like crazy. The second one came out, and I heard barely anything. So I think it's interesting because of that. The audience has a lot more control on what if they're going to put their money into it, which also forces these networks to come out with better quality.
Yeah,
they can't just throw the same trash over and over again, because if they do, they're just going to lose all of it.
That also could be, a slippery slope as well, because a lot of the extra things that, say for example, we like, that may not be the vast majority of what people like.
Oh yeah,
you don't just want to see content specifically made exclusively for ratings.
Yeah.
And I would hope that would not be where it would go, because we're not going to make this sci-fi or XYZ whatever, because it's not going to get the kind of ratings that this other things are.
Weirdly enough, sci-fi is very in right now.
Yeah.
Like most of the sci-fi shows are doing well, which is crazy, which I think kind of speaks to just the subculture of like everybody's kind of a nerd. Even the people
changing.
Yeah, like people you would never think, because like you got like take a look at Stranger Things to kind of go back to it. That show is huge, and that's a very weird niche market. Like it's pulling off the '80s nostalgia with monsters and like D&D references, but people will just flock to it. So I think it's people like Netflix, they're willing to take chances, but the only risk is you might get something that's really cool, but if it doesn't connect with at least a good portion of people, you're just going to get that one season. Because in other times, people would put a show out, and because they put so much money into it, they would give it a chance to grow into a second season and a third season, really kind of grow it out. Now it's like if it doesn't hit from the first, you're probably not going to have that show.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Well, it 100% is because
that was network TV anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, but there was a lot. I was reading. It was an article I was reading. Well, I'm kind of referencing here, and some networks would take shows though. Like, I mean, a good example is the first season of The Office. It did not do the American version. It pretty much tanked. It was the second season because they felt it, and it wasn't until the third season it really built up and got a following.
Yeah,
because the network kind of believed in it and they let it go. But with Netflix, their thing is, they'll give anything a chance. Yeah, we'll try that show out. But when they put it out, if it doesn't get the response,
they cut
there's a good chance they're not going to do a second season.
Yeah, which sucks because there's a show I'm waiting for a second season.
There's a few shows that people talk about.
The OA, I loved that show.
There's a show called Census 8 that people apparently fucking love. Now, Netflix is going to give them a movie at least. They get a 2-hour wrap-up.
But one of the shows is you recommended it, Atypical.
Yeah, Attila was great. They're not doing another season?
I haven't heard anything about it.
That one hasn't been
out
a
to
year,
2019. There is a new season that's going to happen to that one. Atypical was phenomenal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Just because we think they might not have a second season right away, like when we think they should have.
Yeah.
Then they, this is a little different ball game than a regular TV series would be as well.
Perfect example is the show Marco Polo. Netflix put out, and they put it out years ago. I loved the first season. They didn't release the second season for like 4 years.
And then people don't remember it, and if they watch it again, they don't
go
care.
back and watch season
that's
one.
The other thing too. That stuff sits around on there forever, and then they can just kind of, because it's their thing, they can kind of market it towards the front of the pack on everybody's feed. Oh, that show. Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out.
You liked Russian ballerinas? How about Marco Polo?
Exactly.
All right. So I feel that this next piece of news, I feel like has been just an elaborate joke on me for the last few years. Apparently, the Deadwood movie is actually moving forward. They're going to start production in October of this year and hopefully have a 2019 spring release. This is a Western show off HBO that I love from 2004 and 2000. It ended in 2006. So this is 12 years.
Oh, wow. This is around the same time Kingdom Hearts has been in development.
I actually got to read like the first 10 pages of the script for the movie, and there's like over 47 cocksuckers in it.
Oh, I absolutely.
And apparently, like the base of it is like it opens with this tree, and like there's a time lapse, and eventually a tree dies, and it's like Deadwood.
Why do you have your hand up?
Because that bored me.
No, that disappointed you. Right?
Disappointed me. That's a different. I guess I need a different.
That's this.
Yeah.
They are, for those not in the room, they're mimicking a thumbs down.
Speaking of Netflix shows, so Hulu was working on Joe Hill's Locke and Key.
Yeah,
they did a pilot for it and they decided to pass, but Netflix has picked it up. Yeah, Netflix has picked it up for. They went ahead and said, "We don't need a pilot. We'll pick this up." So there should be 10 episodes of Joe Hill's Locke and Key coming to Netflix.
Good old Joe Hill.
Yeah, y'all like old Joe Hill.
I hope it does well.
I do too, because Locke and Key is great.
He's a young writer, and I feel that. Given some time, he can really hone his craft because his books are really unique and they're interesting to read.
And Locke and Key was a very interesting and unique comic.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it's really good. Episode 9 of Star Wars. Let's talk about that for a little bit. So they've announced that this is going to be the final Skywalker installment.
Yes.
So we're not
many
going
left of them.
Yeah, for real. The production for it is going to begin August 1st, so
next week.
This week. Yeah, this week. And for, of course, the 20th release.
BT Dubs, I'm actually going to be out of town for the next couple of months. I can't tell you why, but it's going to be out of this world.
Mark Hamill and Billy D. Williams have been confirmed to be in the film, and
In a Denny's.
and Carrie Fisher will finish out this film. They said they are not going to use any holograms or CGI or anything like that.
They actually kept her alive.
Except for
They
Tupac.
kept her body frozen and bought a bunch of string.
They're gonna actually use footage.
Weekend at Leia's.
Why does Princess Leia have sunglasses on in all the scenes? And Chewbacca and her are always locking arm in arm.
But they're gonna be
What's that, Princess Leia?
they're gonna be using footage from the
Episode 7, I
I
think,
guess Last Jedi maybe.
in Episode 8.
Yeah,
I think he specifically said Episode 7,
yeah.
which is
And
odd.
Carrie Russell, who was Felicity.
I want to get.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. But I didn't say it.
pictures of her in different backgrounds.
No, don't. The dark side is going to turn you.
You must not be the one.
R2D2! Because she's never said that all at once.
Yeah. Carrie Russell was also added to the film. You may know her from Mission Impossible 3,
Felicity.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and Felicity. Yeah, good job. So she will also be
I love
in
me
that
some
Star
Carrie
Wars.
Russell.
Yeah. Well, she's going to be a Star Wars now.
She'll be her own Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Or the
Swallow's
Star
love
Wars,
interest.
yeah. Iron Fist. We got an Iron Fist teaser from Netflix this week. It's real short.
We talked all the way through it. I don't know.
Yeah, y'all talked all the way through
It
it.
looked very
You
stupid.
were
It looked-
talking to.
I was not.
They should already see an improvement in the choreography, though.
Yeah, the choreography
The
looked
dance
much
scene
better.
did look really good when
Yeah.
they're like, "Ain't
And
no lie,
They
baby,
had
bye,
a
bye."
there was a fight scene in it, and it looked
Terrible.
just
Yeah.
like the
There's nothing but Superman punches. It was ridiculous.
it was them Iron Fist fighting, and he was wearing his actual Iron Fist suit.
They were
So-
Iron
I did
Fist
see a
fighting.
movie. It was an all-star cast of just men, and it was a bunch of Iron Fisting. I'm pretty
It was
sure it
Iron
was a
Fisting.
stag film. And the whole time I just kept going, what's going on?
Like, where's Daniel Rand?
This isn't a Marvel
supposed to
movie.
be the wrong
This is a marvelous movie.
This is Fanny Rand.
And
I'm back to Iron Fist your butt to death.
and
Butt stroke.
we got a trailer for
I'm going to show you the hand.
Alita Battle Angel. You're just gonna laugh into your Gatorade bottle?
In the microphone.
Yeah. So we also got
It sounded like a shitty ghost. All right, sorry. The new movie.
Alita Battle Angel that is going to be directed by Robert Rodriguez.
This movie truly
and James
looks,
Cameron is attached producing, I guess.
Number one, it doesn't look bad, but it looks like someone took like a bunch of action heroes and took the heads of like Barbie dolls and stuff,
Yeah.
and stuck it on robots and was like, no, I got you over here, and like it's just, it looks so fucking crazy, but
Yeah.
in a good way. I'm all sold on this movie. It'll probably be terrible, but I'm sold by the trailer.
Yeah.
There's a spider tank in it. I'm good.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch
I
it.
knew Mike would be
There's a
loving it.
giant robot man that he reminds me of the X-Force with Strongman, like just strong guy, just how big he is and the stupid head. Like it's just, I was like, I just love that. This oversized robot killer that has like
Chain
long
dagger
snake fingers, like
Snake fingers.
yeah, like
Hot snake fingers.
Yeah.
Eternal diarrhea.
But
All right.
it looks like the best anime movie, and I
Yeah.
don't even know if it's based off an anime.
Based off
believe it
Alita
is.
Battle Angel.
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check.
Based
I'm
off of
pretty
I
sure
manga.
think
it
it's
is.
a manga.
Yep.
And
A
who
manga
is
angel.
the German gentleman scientist?
Christoph
That was
Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
I really enjoy him. So
Yeah.
just because he's in the movie, I'm like,
Did you watch the Driving in Cars with Coffee for
Yes.
Comedians with him? He was great in it.
he was very exactly like you think he
No,
would be.
absolutely.
He's-
kind of eccentric. He's Austrian, I believe,
Yeah.
isn't he? Yeah.
It's a bingo.
Yeah, that's the big. But like he just carries himself so well and so
Yeah.
poised, and It's funny because he's not a comedian, but he has good comedic timing.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
Because all his movies, he kind of has that little bit of tongue-in-cheek humor with it. So
he's just he usually plays someone who may not be a particular person. They're not peculiar, but they have these like little idiosyncrasies of things that they do, and he pulls those off real well.
Does this movie come out this year or
December?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mike, did you find out that answer?
Yes, it's known in Japan as Ganmu, literally Gun Dream.
Okay.
Battle Angel Alita is a manga series created by Yukito Kishiro in 1990.
Okay, so no wonder.
Been around for a hot minute.
Yeah. I'm wondering what the real anime fans out there think about it then.
Yeah.
If you've actually read it and if you're as excited as I am, having no idea what the fuck I'm
It looks like a girl from Ready Player One. You're a robot.
Yeah, so
CGI looks
if
great.
you've listened to this podcast much at all, you know that almost none of us are really into anime or manga or any of that stuff. So if you're one of our listeners that loves that stuff, let us know what you think about this trailer.
Is it heresy? Is it harassy? Is it awesome? Is it possum? What do you think?
All right, well, let's take a left turn and head on down to the mailbag.
Boom, 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 boom. Get your mailbag.
All right, so we got a couple of mailbag questions. The first one comes from Krista Marie. She asked, "What's your favorite true crime story? Is this Nerds Who Get Laid material?" Sure, we'll let it pass this time. True crime story. What's your favorite true crime story? So how would we? Is this like Serial and like all these podcasts and stuff we've been listening to, or a movie that says based on actual events?
I mean, I watched a lot of Lifetime movies growing up, so I wish I could remember all of them.
Flowers in the attic.
I watched so many. My mom, well, I did. My mom would watch so many of those goddamn Lifetime movies, and it was always like, "This boy was kidnapped when he was 5. Now he's reunited, but is it the real boy?" And you're like, "What?" Like, I don't know.
Anything from Unsolved Mysteries.
Pretty much. If you would ask me like a year or two ago if I like true crime, I'd be like, nah. But like some of the podcasts has really turned on.
Some of the documentaries.
Like
Evil Genius.
I kind of
I'd go to right now.
True crime. Like I found, I'm the old man that I was meant to be.
Yeah.
Get in your murder porn phase of your life.
I guess
Do
so.
Matlocks count?
If
Don't get truer than that.
if I just had to go with my gut, I would have to say
I'm hungry.
up and vanished the podcast. The main reason was the story was interesting, but what I really loved about it was the podcast gained so much traction that it actually brought new evidence and ultimately solving the crime that he was investigating.
Well, and when you were listening to it was when all of that was going on.
Yeah, it was live. So like, every episode was like they started having like up-to-date minutes of like, a confession that we just found out this. People were calling him with like, facts about the case that had never been told, and they ultimately found out who murdered that woman, all from a podcast to me, which I thought was just very amazing.
Impressive.
And it's, it all took place right above us. It wasn't that far from us. Like it's right in between Atlanta and us. So.
Yeah, it's a little farther north of Tifton, I believe.
I believe so. So
Allison keeps trying to talk me into going up there.
But to me, that was probably one of the biggest impact true stories where I was like, holy, this is really fucking crazy to be, listening live during that couple of months. So that's mine.
I don't know. Would you consider S-Town true crime?
There wasn't a crime. It was more just the
he was
the mystery
complaining about,
and there was no actual murder. That was all.
That's true.
He was just
Hey, come on,
Was.
guys.
You have spoiler. You're never.
I listened to the first episode.
Well, you got to listen to all of it. That one was out of control. Good.
Now.
I don't know if I've got it. Serial was really good.
Serial was good. Serial like
the first season. Really had me, because it was another one that I listened to all in one day.
Yeah.
And it had me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Serial
had me on the edge of my seat.
See, I enjoyed Serial. I just didn't. I guess it was more of the who done it than really the crime. Because to me, a lot of it comes down to like a lot of people get wrapped up like into the actual crime itself.
Yeah.
Like Domine and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the Evil Genius, I think, because it's so fresh on my mind, was really good.
Any
Mike, you got one?
The Vanishing? Because that was based off of a real story.
The car movie?
No, where Jeff Bridges gets buried alive.
Was that a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was based off a Dutch movie, I think, which supposedly was based off a true story.
Okay.
All right, Charles asks, with San Diego Comic-Con happening last week, how much money do you foresee leaving your bank account with all the awesome toys coming out?
I don't have a bank account.
Probably zero.
I don't want to talk about this.
Gold buried in my yard.
I wish you did, because I need some.
I don't know. There's several things I saw that I was like, man, I really want that.
Did you want that War Machine and one of the two Darth Mauls?
Yeah, the War Machine, Darth Maul, Vulture, Bespin, Leia. Vulture, I have to kind of draw the line on. It's an awesome looking figure, but at this point, that's going to be $900 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
What if it comes with a badass Keaton? Well, you wouldn't need a Keaton head sculpt.
Yeah,
you
well,
have one.
Have they? What is actually up for pre-order? I know War Machine is, but is Vulture yet?
No. The War Machine, the video game Spider-Man, and the Mark 7. That's the only ones that have really went up for order.
Yeah. I RSVP'd the Corvus Glaive, but he's not up for pre-order yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Hopefully they cancel that figure.
Mike, what you looking forward to?
The Vulture, the War Machine, the Mark 7 possibly. I'm going to take a look at this accessory kit and see if they're really fucking with me.
My name is Mark and I'm 7.
What about the new Hulkbuster?
John Wick. Fuck the new Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
What else?
I'll talk to you about that later, Mike, but there's a reason not to get mad for you about it.
I like to imagine that Mike walks around his house carrying his Hulkbuster like a teddy bear.
He has it in one of those like baby holders on the front.
It's like
just take it and like people like make me mad. I just punch them with it, just like right in their face.
It's like a multi-tool.
I just fucking busted you. I just tape my Leatherman wave to the back of it.
I need you to come help me hammer down these nails. Get your Hulkbuster. Coming, Paul.
That's exactly what it sounds like at the Lomanek house.
Let's build up this barn.
All right, Nathan, anything you can't live without there?
No, I'm good.
Well, me too.
I mean, this stuff is amazing. I will not.
And the Vulture.
Yeah,
I do want him.
I'm gonna probably hard pass on all of it.
Yeah. I have to
say that
large.
now.
Well,
no, Nathan will. He doesn't have that kind of.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit. His Hot Toys purchases are more just like, well, I bought this off eBay. I thought a good deal.
That's
pretty accurate.
No.
That's exactly.
All right, Brian asks, what was your favorite trailer at Comic-Con and what was missing for you?
Last of Us Part 2 was my favorite trailer by far.
At Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Did they announce that at Comic-Con? I don't think they did. They didn't.
I don't know.
They didn't. I didn't love any of it.
I'm trying to remember what.
There
was so much last week. I don't remember anything.
But I don't remember anything. Oh, the Glass trailer was.
There was Glass.
That looked good. Shazam didn't look too bad.
Didn't look bad, but it still wasn't.
Shazam looked great.
Glass.
We got Teen Titans. We got Clone Wars. That was the trailer was nothing, but it really
held so much.
We also got Aquaman,
Night Flyers, Aquaman, Godzilla.
Oh wait, yeah. No, what was the
Night Flyers? The sci-fi
Night
one.
Flyer.
Yeah.
Night Flyer, and then what's the
Overlord?
Overlord.
Yes. Yeah.
Overlord.
I think Overlord was my biggest takeaway from I want that
That's
now.
the biggest. Yeah, that was probably the biggest. Man, that looks pretty freaking awesome, and I didn't know about it.
Yeah, no idea about it. And then I'm excited for Shazam. I think it's going to be fun.
Biggest thing that we wish would have been there that wasn't.
Yeah, Batman starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt continuing the Nolan verse. A true sequel to Terminator 2.
I know we weren't going to get anything there, but I would have liked to seen some Captain Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And
I'm really surprised
Marvel
we didn't.
said that they weren't going to be there at all, and there was someone else that wasn't
Hi, my
there
name's
at all.
Marvel, and I'm not going to be there.
Fox wasn't there, really,
Fuck
were they?
you guys.
Well, Star Wars wasn't there. either.
Well, I think Disney in general just
Yeah.
kind of does their own thing now.
Guys, did we take a minute to console Ray because that the fact that the Gambit movie is not going to happen?
Yeah,
Because
you noticed that was skipped.
Yeah, that whole thing
from the
was
news.
skipped.
Yeah.
Ray talked so much about how excited he was to have his hero Gambit on the big screen. And
Played by one of
the
his favorite actors.
fucking
Oh,
rat.
God.
The rat just snuck in and took that smelly cheese. Sorry, Ray. And just ripped it from your cold, already dying hands.
Not only that, and the X-Men.
Because I've been messaging
and
him.
New Mutants.
That's still rumored.
That's still a rumor.
I've been messaging them daily saying, I have a good friend who's on his deathbed literally every night. And
Trying to
he
fanboy it?
really wants to see Gambit before he dies.
Oh, man.
Tatum only.
So if you could just send Channing Tatum in an overcoat
Gambit suit.
and nothing
With metal
else.
boots.
To your bed.
To your bed.
Hey, Mona Me. What's up? Let me do some magic tricks.
What's up, bitch?
Is this your card?
I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah. And I used to strip down the road, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna smack my nuts in your face. But I just noticed that Ray is so hurt that he just skipped over all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What,
Yeah, no.
what were you going to say,
It's
TJ,
almost
though,
like
or
he
did you already say
chooses-
it?
I already said it. I'm just.
Oh,
I know they
Captain
said they
Marvel.
weren't going to be there, but I would have really liked to see some Captain Marvel
Yeah,
stuff.
Charles
Yeah, because
also
it's coming up.
posted like a bunch of wrestlers died too.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we didn't talk about that in the news.
I was done compiling the news by the time he sent those. They were too late. They didn't
Well, I
make
sent you
it.
something earlier in the week also. Wrestling
It's
related
all
for the
right.
news,
They're
but
not
fuck
gonna
you.
notice.
Yeah, I didn't
No.
understand what I was reading about that, so it didn't make
Yeah.
it either. Jack also said on our post, he said, I don't have a question to ask. Just wanted to say hi and thanks for doing this podcast. So
You're welcome,
thanks, Jack.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that.
Thanks
about
for nothing.
Fucking time someone gave me my comeuppance.
We've been doing this for years. And no one said
This is the first thank you we've ever gotten
Been
for
doing this since
most of the time.
six.
Most of the time, it's like, y'all still do that?
I was beginning to think my mom's reinforcement was just bullshit.
All right, and Allison says top 5 movies you take with you on a desert island. So we're playing Desert Island.
Castaway, all 5 copies.
It would be a copy of Castaway hollowed out inside. A cell phone, flare gun.
Let me see. Swiss Family Robinsons, Lord of the Flies, Lost,
Season 3.
and Gilligan's Island. The movie.
5.
Which one? The blockbuster.
How many do
cinema.
they make?
They made several TV
The one with
movies.
the Harlem Globetrotters.
The one where what's-her-face shows her tits. Mrs. Howell.
You know, they were going on a 3-hour tour, and they had clothes that lasted for months. Who packs for that type
clothes
of tour?
were made way better in the 60s.
Oh, they had like
Apparently.
outfit changes. Ray, what would be your 5 Marvel movies?
My 5. I would probably
Blade.
take Blade 3.
All Fantastic Four movies. The Captain America from the 90s.
Ooh.
Oh, I still have that somewhere. I would probably take definitely the original trilogy Star Wars. I only
There
get 2
goes
more.
3.
Yeah.
No.
I only get 2 more, so I was gonna say Lord of the Rings too, but yeah, I don't know what would be 2 other really good movies. I would want.
I don't fucking know.
All right, Nathan.
RoboCop? Time Cop?
How many cop movies can you take with you? Die Hard. I would add Die Hard.
That's a cop movie.
So you're at 4.
Cop and a Half?
No,
Tango and Cash?
no you're
Bad Boys.
doing the top cop.
Bad Boys,
movies.
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 3.
What you gonna do?
Lethal Weapon 2.
No.
Lethal Weapon.
Loaded Weapon with Emilio Estevez and Sam Jackson.
Naked
That's such
Gun.
a good movie.
Naked Gun 1 and 2 and a half.
Police Squad.
Police Academy.
Oh, and probably Life Aquatic because I can watch that.
But there's
anytime.
so much water. Do you really want
I
to
know.
see up?
I know.
I'd probably do. I started to write a list. I'm like, my luck, I would end up there with 5 movies, and there's no electricity or something to play them on.
You use the CDs to reflect light and start fires.
Yeah, that's probably what I do. But anyway, seriously though, probably Apollo 13 because it's one of those movies that anytime I see it on, I just kind of get sucked into watching it. The Lord of the Rings extended trilogy
Yeah.
because that will kill a lot of time.
Yeah.
At least a day.
You'll be found by the time that you finish up.
They'll show up like, we're here to save you. I got one more movie, man. Can you come back in a few days?
The Ents just took down Saruman, man.
And I haven't listened to the director commentary.
Just circle around the globe.
Come back.
The globe.
And Jaws.
Just to keep you grounded on the island. This is why I don't go out.
Yeah.
I
this
didn't
is why
tell
I'm not
you.
trying
I
to
will stay
leave.
here forever.
Listen, Wilson, this is why we don't leave. There's fucking sharks in that water.
Chuck, what 5 movies you got?
WrestleMania 1.
That's not a movie.
Which WrestleMania
movie?
DVD are you going to take
I'm
with
gonna
you?
No
go,
holds bar.
The motion picture.
Jurassic Park.
I've never seen that WrestleMania Jurassic Park.
Thunder in Paradise.
Suburban
Commando,
Commando.
yes.
Commando.
Jurassic Park.
Mr. Mom.
Labyrinth. Spaceballs. Rudy. And A Few Good Men.
Man, I would be so pissed if I was on that island with you.
Fucking
Yeah.
bored out of my mind.
Kick your ass.
Can we just fucking watch Jurassic Park again? God.
Yelling at your coconut friend. You can't handle the truth.
I would be stuck on that island with Chuck with his 5 movies, and I would still have never seen Rudy.
It's a good movie.
I would take
Scott.
take those movies and grind them up and hope they kill me as I eat them.
So you don't like Spaceballs? You don't like Jurassic Park?
Nathan, what are your
I like
movies?
Jurassic
Nathan's
Park.
seen Jurassic Park enough. He can just put a plan
Yeah,
on
so
his
have
head.
I.
I can just lay down and envision the goddamn thing.
Nathan, what are your 5 movies?
Obviously, I would go with Brendan
Iron Fist.
Fraser's The Mummy.
Good start.
No, I don't know what I would do.
You must not read from the book.
When is someone going to bring me my coffee?
I'll just bring nothing but terrible movies, so I don't sit around fucking watching movies and I focus on getting off the goddamn island.
Shark
Chuck's
aren't real. Get it together.
Chuck's over there watching Rudy, and I'm over here making a fucking raft. All
How
right.
to build
And
a
you have
raft.
Sharknado 1 through 5 playing in the background. God damn it.
How to build a raft.
It's coming. The Sharknado's going to sneak up
It'll
on
probably
me.
be
distill
Chuck
salt.
Norris's
Sidekicks.
How to distill salt water into fresh water.
Solar Flex. I
Just his total Jim infomercial collection.
I'm just watching infomercials all the time, so I would slowly go
Flex
insane.
Seal, Ginsu knives, and the rotisserie chicken one. Set it
wow.
and
Set it and
forget it.
Sham wow.
Yeah. I'd be there with
Slap
TJ
chop.
with Lord of the Rings.
The extended set?
Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings, so I would watch them over and over again. It's the other 2
I need
movies
to
where
watch those again.
I'd be kind of torn. Because I think I'd have to go with comedies, because you got to have some, after you watch 3
Yeah.
fucking Lord of the Rings.
I just want to get some yucks in.
Yeah. I just want to laugh.
So what would be your main comedy that like you have to watch this all the time? This is the only one.
It'd probably be as good as it gets. That
Oh, that's a
movie's-
good one.
Oh,
that's a good one.
comedy.
It's just fun. It's Jack Nicholson's peak
Yeah.
performance, of being an asshole.
Yeah.
And then the last one would be I have no idea. Honestly, I'm drawing a blank.
Jack, we want you to be an
Shawshank.
asshole in this movie.
Maybe Forrest Gump. I know a lot of people. I love Forrest Gump.
I like
So
it.
you want the usual.
Mike, what are your 5?
American Beauty,
Oh, that's a good one.
Road to Perdition,
Still need to watch that again.
Wrongfully Accused,
High School High. And I still won't watch it with you on this island.
and a selection of YouTube videos.
He'll be like, hey, man, you want to put it in finally? Let's watch American Beauty again.
And then he'd ask if you want to watch a movie.
what else? Probably The Exorcist. Something to be scared in the cave at night.
So is that 4? That's 4, yeah.
Okay.
One more. You get one more.
Now you need more cave horror. Like,
Yeah.
The Descent.
yeah.
There you go.
No, I take back The Exorcist. I would probably do Back to the Future 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm.
Oh, 2.
And then probably Ghostbusters 1.
Okay. There we go. Well, that's the question.
These sound like 5 islands. Allison would just go, oh, God.
Yeah.
I would just have all 5 of mine be the challenge.
Can it just be season 1 through 5 of the challenge?
Those are really the best seasons. They sold out afterwards. Mainstream challenge episodes are terrible.
All right.
Not
well,
even
I
good
guess-
challenges. Sack race,
They had to do the spoon handoff with eggs.
egg toss.
I hate eggs.
Oh my god!
Ray,
Show run,
change the station.
I don't know.
tug of war
anymore.
with weave. What?
Ugh, I hate this. Yeah, I just imagine that's the noise that she makes when Ray shows her.
Who can
his
drink?
Yeah.
Who can drink the most LaCroix without throwing up?
Ray's like, "Hey, Allison, what do you want to do tonight?" Yeah. Yeah.
Just like that Channing Tatum was like, ew, you know, where he dressed like a lady. Yeah,
You want to? Ew. No.
I'm making a risotto.
Well, guys, this has been Nerds Get Laid Sometimes. Thank you for listening. As always, if you can share the podcast, go on Facebook, like us, Instagram, like us. If there's something we're on it, fucking like it because we need it.
Subscribe to our YouTube because we need more YouTube.
This
followers
retirement
and likes.
plan is not working out how I thought it
And
would.
share.
Don't let him demonetize our channel.
They already did.
Have a good evening, bitches.
Hi, boners.
Nerds Who Get Laid Sometimes is recorded at the illustrious Big Brown Record Town Studios in beautiful downtown Lake City. Episodes are published each Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and Google Play. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Nerds Who Get Laid. We're at Nerds Who Get Laid on Twitter and Instagram. We're part of the Geeks World Wide podcast network. You can find reviews and articles we write at thegww.com. We're also part of the Modest Pod podcast network. We're on FloridaGeekscene.com and also WeBeGeeksPC.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. You can also check out the show notes for links about things we talked about in this episode. Thanks so much.
This has been a production of the GWW Radio Network. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, check out Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com for all the latest news, reviews, and opinions on video games, comics, movies, TV, cosplay, and more. Geeks, assemble!